Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Deva Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Na Guru Radhikam, Na Guru Radhikam, Na Guru Radhikam. Guru Kripa Hi Kevalam, Guru Kripa Hi Kevalam, Guru Kripa Hi Kevalam. Today we have a very interesting topic on the subject for our evening satsang. To many, the very concept of non-doership in the world of addictive doing and dying. We are as if we are born in a world where we are born to do and finally die. But the concept of non-doership, where basically I'm asked suddenly by my guru, by my teacher, by my master, by the enlightened wise one, can you do without doing? The very word, when it comes from the mouth of the enlightened masters, that your entire sense of doership is false. It's almost like all our concepts, everything that we have learned throughout our life, it just simply crashes. It's like pack of cards, it just simply falls off. Because our entire life, throughout our life, in your life, in my life, everyone's life, we basically have only been focused on one thing. To do things, and maybe to do things to the level of utmost perfection. But the idea is to keep doing, and you hardly can find anyone in this world. Na jatu shkanamapi tishtatya. Even for a moment, a person cannot remain without doing. Even to run this human body, even to keep it fed and at the same time active and dynamic, you have to take care of your body. That itself is a huge work. So it's like doing has been the very way that we have all understood as the art of living, as way to live, the skill to live. You must learn to do. But when this concept comes, it's very confusing. Many people have written to me that, Baba, I understand when I do things, if I've been doing it with my hand, it starts to pain, and then I know, yes, I have been doing, so hence it is now, kind of aching pain. Apart from that, there are times when I am forced to do things, too many things in a small span of time, and from pillar to post, I'm just running about and doing, and then I feel so tired. I feel so run down, Obviously, it's very simple for me to understand, because I have been doing so much, hence I am tired. Hence my hand is paining, my back is paining, my shoulder is paining. I understand this. This is very easy for me to understand, that I have been doing, hence these manifestations have come. But I can't just understand when you say, again and again, you have been repeating this over a long period of time to each one of us in each of your satsangs and these beautiful discussions that you do. I understand, but I don't understand. It's very confusing to me. How can one be a non-doer when he or she is doing so many things throughout the day? How can I do yet not do? This is something very confusing. So today we will possibly try to focus more on this particular concept, which has also come to be the very foundation, very foundation of Karma Yoga. In the entire Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna teaches Arjuna exactly this art. Throughout this entire Bhagavad Gita of 700 slokas, Lord Krishna takes Arjuna, the seeker in each one of us. Arjuna is a seeker in each one of us. But of course, Arjuna had his own perfections while the others are not. But I'm still seeing that every one of us who are now reached a point of maturity in life where we know that things that appear on the surface, on the periphery, are very superficial. And we are gradually trying to understand that if we repeat these very things again and again and again, it will lead to more of boredom, monotony, and at the same time, at times, very frustrating and stressful. Obviously unhappy, obviously unhealthy. So these are the things which comes with your maturity. As you live through life, you live through all your dreams and aspirations. And obviously when you live your life through all your dreams and aspirations and you try to do many things and achieve many things and attain many things, but then as you go through the process, as you keep doing these things, in order to attain to that state of your so-called aim in life, goal in life, you do come very close to it, but at what cost? At that time, the maturity comes that, well, I have got it, but at what price? This is one. Number two, if I got it, how I can sustain it? It even calls for a greater responsibility. If I have become someone very successful, how do I sustain my success? And at the same time, to keep this sustaining aspect of my activities absolutely on the dot, I have to be all the time busy. Then where is the time for me? Where is the time for my relaxation? Where is the time for my individual personal time to just be myself? Instead of just, running about everywhere in order to do things and finally prove to everybody else that look how successful I am. So here comes this particular deepest importance of this understanding, this concept, which even Lao Tzu from China, one of the greatest philosophers of all times, he also speaks of this in a beautiful way. He says, doing, non-doing. Because the entire philosophy of Tao, or Tao as it is said, in that also the fundamental thing is doing, not doing. Even in Bhagavad Gita also Lord Krishna says the same thing thousands years back, that ultimately your perfection is not how good you do, your perfection is you do and realize deep inside as not a matter of sheer intellectual understanding, but spiritual, intuitive wisdom of understanding that you are not the doer. There is something in you which is basically propelling everything, prompting everything, and at the same time doing things, and you are only an observer. You are a pure witnessing self. This is the highest point that a human can reach and is born to reach at the same time. It's not only that humans can reach this point. I personally would say this is the sole purpose of humans being born on earth. To me, perfection is already there. We don't have to attain it. And every other efforts in our day-to-day life toward perfection, they're all imperfect in a way. But true perfection is something which is beyond doing. That's my point. The true perfection is beyond your doing, because as long as your ego, as long as your mind is involved in your activity, you are bound by the consequences of your actions, which we call as law of karma, the cause and effect chain. As long as you are the doer, try to understand this please with a very quiet mind. As long as you think you are the doer, you are taking care of your family, you are taking care of yourself, you are taking care of your children, you are taking care of your old parents, you are taking care of your spouse. When all of it, you are taking care of the social responsibilities or whatever it is, please try to understand. The moment you have this feeling of being responsible for each of this and you keep doing and doing and doing, you are getting into the subconscious program of being the doer. That means I am doing, and only when I do it right, then I am really, really happy. That means when I meet with, when all my doings, when all my efforts, when all my endeavors, they meet with my expected result, I feel elated, I feel so happy. Wow, finally it has happened, it has happened, it has happened. But not always. You know very well, we all know this reality, that in this world, man proposes, something in the universe conspires and disposes it off. You may have hundreds of plans, you may have many ideas and thoughts and philosophies that this is going to happen like this is going to be like this, and suddenly boom, something happens. Beyond your expectation, beyond your calculations, beyond your even faintest idea from where it drops. This is the whole concept of the principle of uncertainty. The principle of uncertainty. This world is not going to just go your way. You may plan everything your way, the best of the plans and the best of the actions, but yet the uncertainty principle can strike anytime, anywhere, anyone. You can't stop it. Hence, as long as we nurture this idea that if I do, then I will get the result, absolutely fine. In a very materialistic plane, this concept is clear and good and accepted. In a materialistic plane, when you are a material person, you are in a material world and you are trying to see things absolutely from the material perspective or perception, absolutely accepted. Yes, you are the doer. If you don't do, how can this happen? It's you who do it. This is materialistic understanding. We respect your idea, we respect your viewpoint, we respect and we take note of this point that you are doing, hence something is happening. But this particular piece of understanding in our life is not a mature state of understanding. Because as you move through life, as you grow in your maturity, as you grow in your experience of life, you'll find that you are gradually understanding many things by experience firsthand. Things don't move the way you want them to move. You expect many things to happen in a particular, they just don't happen. So please, let us first understand this concept of this uncertainty principle, and keeping this in mind, we'll be able to understand the concept of non-doership in a little deeper sense, because once we understand in a gross materialistic plane, where you are basically operating from the domain of your egoic mind, okay, your ego, I am the body, and my mind is telling me something and I'm doing it. So as long as you are identified with your gross body, I am body consciousness. As long as you are I am body consciousness, as long as you are I am my mind conscious. If my mind is happy, I am happy. If my mind is unhappy, I am unhappy. As long as you are bound by this, borders of your mind, borders of your physical body, that's your egoic mind, that's your egoic body sense, that is your egoic existential understanding. As long as you are bound by this particular ego, this idea that I am doing, and because I do, I am successful, because I am successful, I have money, I can, satisfy my desires, my wish, my dreams and things, done, accepted. But this is all from the egoic point of your mind. There is a world beyond this ego. And it's not that just because you have not yet reached it or someone has not yet reached it, he or she cannot reject it. Because we know very well, we cannot hear many things which a dog can hear. We cannot smell many things which a dog can do. We can do it. But the dog, your pet, will be able to do it. So these are our limitations, our body, our senses, our mind, our intellect, our intelligence, our emotions, everything is under what we'd call it as. It has its own limitations, it has its own borders. But there is a world which is beyond this limitation, beyond this border, and that can be reached, experienced in this very birth, in this very body-mind. That means this same body can be divinized. The same mind can be transformed and divinized. So with a divinized mind and a divinized body, your world will be divinized. That means this world will no longer remain as a mass of material stuff, but will be a vibrant, energetic plane of existence, of light, of love, of compassion, of everything that is totally different. To come to that world, you need to understand that the yogis of our land have given us tools as to how we can practice this sense of non-doership. How can I do yet not do? How can I do? Means I'll do karma, but how? My karma will not bind me, will not chain me, will shackle me. I'll do the karma, but I'll not have karmic bondage. I will do my actions, but my actions will not bind me. Because if the actions bind me, then I'll die one day and again will be reborn. But if I can do things in such a manner that there is no bondage, then there is no need for further birth and further deaths and the cycle of births and deaths. Then I'm freed, which is called as moksha or nirvana, where the desires die its ultimate death. To go to that death of the ultimate desires of human mind and body in its sense of wrong perceptions and identification and modifications. It's how you uplift, but in order to uplift, there are certain basic practices. Like first thing, we have been talking about time and again about the concept of mindfulness. You find that you have certain daily chores every day to do. But at the same time, we have to keep in mind that you can be mindful. That means you can do things consciously. There are two ways of doing things. If you have done anything again and again and again in the past, like you drive, when you're driving for the first time, your entire perception is totally different. You're driving for the first time. When you are learning to, go and ride a bicycle, for example, for the first time, you fall down. The slightest bit of imbalance, you fall down. So anything that you do for the first time, when the skill in the brain is not developed yet, You can't do it. But if you do it again and again and again and again and again, for example, if a person has got used to getting angry for small little prompts, so again and again that person has become angry for small little things of daily life. So that person's brain has taken it as, and the moment it comes, he doesn't become angry. His body has taken the anger mode. So the body reacts. He doesn't even know. The mind doesn't even know. It just happens. We are eating certain things every day. We eat every day, and then just because we eat it every day, now the body has accepted it. I don't have to be eating. Even without knowing that I am eating, I'll be seeing the TV screen, or I'll be seeing the news channels, I'll be talking to my family, I can talk to everybody else. Maybe I'll be at the same time my left hand I'm eating, with the right hand, on the left hand I'm also kind of scrolling my phone also. I'm just scrolling my phone, I'm seeing the news feed and other things, and at the same time I'm eating. So eating doesn't need me. It's a body function. The body has taken it over. The body can eat. I don't have to be there. I can be here. The body will eat. The body will chew. The body will digest. This is called unconscious doing. This is a particular state of your mind where repeatedly whatever you do, you don't need you anymore. Your body takes over. Repeatedly when you learn driving your car, then the body takes over. So when anybody is passing on your right, first time when you saw it was like a shock. But that doesn't anyway fetter you, doesn't make any difference to you. Okay, somebody is overtaking, so what? So here the whole idea that I am trying to share with you is that any task you do on a daily basis, it can be done in two ways. One, unconsciously, and the other one is consciously. My point is that if you really want to understand what is the way to go beyond the confusion of how can I do without doing? Yes, you can do, yet not do, provided you are very conscious and alert and alive and mindful. When you are conscious and alert and mindful, you'll find that your entire doings will be so different because you are not machine-like. Man is not a machine. A machine is a machine. A man is a man. And a man becomes a machine when he or she loses touch with the witnessing self. Man becomes completely gripped by the unconscious mind when the man again and again and again feeds unconsciousness, because that person is regularly doing the same thing, same way, again and again, and now the body has taken over. He gets angry without knowing. He does wrong things, for example, takes wrong decisions, move in a wrong way, and possibly entertain all kinds of negative ideas and thoughts and worries and tensions. This is all, everything has become very mechanical. It's not that this person is doing it. It's very mechanical now. So the whole thing that we need to understand is this. If we at some point do not start to change this particular mechanical state of my body mind into a state of awareness, consciousness, alertness, mindfulness, then we will not ever understand what is this entire concept of non-doership. Because to understand the concept of non-doership, you need to practice mindfulness. Tool number one is that you need to be mindful. Tool number two, in order to be mindful, you need to start with some practice which is tangibly will prove to you, yeah, it works. Yes, I can feel the difference. Yes, it is different. You yourself will be the witness, and you will vouch for yourself that, yes, it makes me feel different. Yes, my emotion that was gripping me, my tension which was rising, my anxiety which was very bad, suddenly I just brought my mind as again and again it has been told to you, watch your breath. Take a deep breath and maybe chant Om. Another deep breath. This is a practice. This is a practice. You are not just being a person who has only been following the dictates of the mind, which is unconscious. You are suddenly moved out of it into a state where you are practicing. You are trying to do something different. Instead of just flowing with that, you are trying to do something. What is the difference? You suddenly brought your mind from the anxiety to your breath, from worries to your breath, from the tensions to your breath, from that confusion to your breath, from the doubts to your breath. Why? Because breath is magical. Breath is your life. Breath is your vital force. Breath is God. Breath is divine. Breath is the bridge between you and your emotions, you and your body, you and your mind. It's a bridge. So step into the bridge to get into a deeper level of who you are. In order to be more closer to who you truly are, a beautiful, calm, tranquil state of mind is essential. So in order to practice non-doership, you have to practice conscious breathing, mindful breathing, meditative breathing. Or in one word, you have to practice meditation. Because here your breaths are the object of your meditation. You are concentrating on your breath. You are concentrating on your breath. You are not allowing your mind to be hijacked by the forces of the past. You are not allowing your mind to be hijacked by some worries and tensions of your unseen future. You are trying to come to the present moment because you know the moment I come to the present moment, a new door will open up for me to a new domain of vibrant, positive light. In the moment is the purest happiness. So here you are. You shifted your mind from that unconscious state of your thinking to conscious state of your mind, to not just thinking but just following your incoming and outgoing breath. So you say, I know that I am breathing in. And as you breathe out, you say, yes, I know that I am breathing out. It's not that when I'm breathing out, I'm thinking I'm breathing in, and when I'm breathing in, I'm thinking I'm breathing out. No. When you are breathing in, you are breathing in consciously. When you are breathing out, you are breathing out consciously. That means it's more like your mind is gradually becoming like your breath. Mind is gradually being soaked in the subtle energy of prana. When the mind is not given the free rein to run like an untamed horse here and there, you are allowing that horse to gradually get tamed. How you are training the horse? You are putting the reins. And you are putting the reins by bringing your mind first to your nostrils. As you breathe in, follow how a very cool, beautiful, warm, air is moving through your nostril, and as you breathe out with all the body being cleansed, your emotion being cleansed, your mind being cleansed, as it moves out, it's warm. So it's just a process of how you are becoming conscious, because non-doership is nothing but a state of awareness or state of consciousness. In simple word, State of non-doership is when you are conscious. State of non-doership is when you are aware of what you are doing, of where you are, who you are. All of it, existentially you are connecting to your deeper self. So now you are, I hope you are able to gradually, understand that your doing is an act of unconsciousness. Your non-doing is an act of consciousness. I hope this simple definition should clear the basic fundamental doubt and confusion from your mind to understand when you are gripped by doership, when you are not conscious about the true doer deep inside of you, your Atman, your Brahman, your Shakti, your Mother Divine. So if the Mother Divine is doing, so you don't claim any credit for it. If your Mother Divine is doing, then you don't fall in the trap of any discredit for it. You are not the doer, hence no results can touch you. They're happening. If success is happening, you are a witness of your success. If failure is happening, you are a witness of your failure, but you are neither accepting success as the ultimate reality, nor you are taking the failure as the ultimate reality, because the ultimate reality has nothing to do with the success and failures of this world parameters and definitions. The world that you want to reach and really feel that eternal happiness is in your world of that eternity, where all this worldly gravitational stuff doesn't work. If you go into outer space, would you be able to walk anymore, or you'll be floating in the air? Because the gravitation pull is not there anymore. So naturally, you'll be floating in the air. In the same manner, as you uplift your mind into a space which is beyond this gravitational, material, contaminated state, obviously the material world and its pain and suffering will no longer be able to disturb you, distort you, and deviate you anymore to anything other than being established in your real, true, pure self, which is so blissful, which is so peaceful. Now, I told you there are this mindfulness, and the practice of mindfulness is through your breath. But at the same time, I want to tell you that throughout the day, there are certain other practices that everyone needs to do. And in the Yoga Shastras, Patanjali has specifically mentioned, and all other yogis and rishis in different scriptures, they have conveyed to us through guru-disciple succession that there are some yamas and niyamas. Yamas and niyamas are what? Things some practices by which you control your inner environment, your mind, your body, inside of you. It's how you discipline yourself, because if you are not disciplined, you can never understand anything in life in its true depth and its true subtlety. The clarity will not come. An indisciplined mind and an indisciplined body and an indisciplined life can only lead to disaster. A disciplined mind and a disciplined body and a disciplined life can lead to wisdom and light and happiness and health. That's the reason it is so very important. It's not that I meditate for 10 minutes every day. Yes, I do some japa every day. But at the same time, if you do not practice some basics, you will not be able to realize the true beauty of your other practices of mindfulness, meditation, or anything. And that is Yama. What is Yama? Inner environmental cleansing. one of the, I won't be able to take up the 5, Yamas and 5 Niyamas because they are pretty lengthy. It takes time. Of course, in future, kind of the satsangs, I can possibly, bring more light and we can possibly discuss, and I'll be very happy if you can even write me questions. You can write it down in your comment section. What are the questions that possibly pop up in your mind regarding all this that I'm discussing? Because I always wish to hear from you. I really wish to learn from you. At the same time, if you write to me your reactions, your responses, what you exactly experience in your life when it comes to doership and non-doership, or what you experience in your life in terms of your conscious and unconscious efforts of your life, and how it impacts when you are consciously doing something and when you are unconscious. What are the different impacts that happens? What are the different things that happen in your life? So if you discuss, if you write in the comment section more and more and more, I will be able to know what's happening to you. Otherwise, it's almost like I'm talking to a camera. I'm just talking to a camera. And I know it's becoming a vivid image in your phone or tab or your laptop or even today's smart TVs. But my point is this, that we need to interact. The more you interact, that jigyasa is very important. Not just questioning, just jigyasa. Is I want to know this little deeper. I want to have little more clarification of this. I would be very happy if you could just bring more light to this aspect. That will, make the whole process of give and take more alive. Rather than it's just a monotonous monologue from my side. Because I don't see anybody here in this room. Previously, when I used to have these satsangs offline, and now it's everything online because of the COVID. But when it was offline era of our life here, I could see all the people there. They're right there. I could see the eyes, I could see their faces, I could see their expressions, their body language. They would ask me and I would respond to it. It's a different kind of a thing. Here I'm just talking and talking and talking, but it will be very nice of you if you can just write down whatever passes through your mind, whatever passes through your own experience, and in the comment section, if you can fill them up, I can see them, I can respond to that in my next videos or whatever I try to do through this live session. Now coming back, Yama, the first practice of Yama as a tool is what? Satya. Satya, Brahmacharya, Ahimsa, Asteya, Aparigraha. These are certain very simple practices, but very difficult in a modern day world. Like when I'm talking the practice of Satya, which means that we have to tread the path of this spirituality with absolute truthfulness. We have to be true to our conscience. We have to be true to ourselves. And we have to be true to the universal intelligence. We have to be true to our God, to our Guru. Easier said than done. Because if you start speaking the truth of what's happening inside of you to your spouse, next day you are blown off. If your boss is saying something and you know that this is all rubbish, but if you say, sir, sorry, you are talking all rubbish, this truth, I'm talking the truth, the boss will simply give you a pink slip the next Monday. So let's be understanding each of this in a very practical way. Satya, the practice of Satya means at least to your conscience as far as possible, without hurting anybody. Try to understand this point. Without hurting anybody, you are trying to be very pleasant in your words. Satyam vada, you talk the truth, but not apriya, not that is very hurtful to others. Just because you are very truthful and you start hurting people with your truth, that's not the way to go. So when we are practicing truth, then we must make sure that we need to practice meditation in order to understand what exactly is the voice of our conscience, what is the voice of our viveka. Our viveka is the guru inside of us. It's that light inside of us which always tells us, no, don't do this. This could lead to some problem. Oh no, okay, up to this much it's okay. No, don't just cross the threshold. Something from inside talks to us all the time. Maybe at times we'll listen, maybe at times we simply allow it to go dumb. But my point is, if you are a practitioner of seeking the ultimate truth, then you have to practice truthfulness. Why? Because your ultimate goal in life is to attain to truth. Your God that you're talking about, if you just take the word God out of your dictionary, then the only word that will remain for your attainment will be truth. What is the simplest definition of truth? Truth is that which was, which is, which shall be. That's the truth. Sanatana. What is Sanatana? That is eternal. So truth cannot be transient and relative. Truth in its true, absolute essence is absolute truth. Truth cannot be small, tiny, little dots. It is the totality. So all of humanity, all of us, today or tomorrow, we are all moving towards that ultimate truth to realize that I am not the doer. Then what is the truth? The truth is, I am a non-doer. What do I mean by I am a non-doer? I mean, just as a flower blossoms and doesn't claim any credit, and look here, I'm blossomed, I did it. Look at the beauty of the petals and the color and the fragrance. In entire nature you'll find so much is accomplished moment to moment, in the tiniest millionth part of a second, so much is accomplished. But did you ever find anyone trying to claim any credit that I have done it, come recognize me, give me a thank you board? Did you ever hear anybody whispering to your ears? No. Because in nature, things are done. Things are happening. Even in your nature also the same thing is happening. But the cloud of Maya, the cataract on your eyes, the cloud on your mind, the mist and the fog of unconsciousness, avidya, ashmita, that's the ego, raga, dvesha, raga means attachment, dvesha is aversions, avinivesha, these are the pancha kleshas as it is beautifully explained. So what's because of that, what happens? We cannot see the ultimate truth. We are victims, kleshas, we are victims of our own ignorance. We are victims of our own strangeness. We are strangers to ourselves. So in this particular practice, what we will gradually learn is this. Every day, try to ask whether you are able to come closer and closer to your own viveka, your own conscience, and to certain extent every day try to do certain things which basically adores the truth that is ultimate. And the ultimate truth is God. The ultimate truth is divinity. The ultimate truth is the divine who does everything. If in the entire universe of billions of creation, if everything is being done, why you alone, being one of that minuscule part of the entire cosmic process of creation, why you have to think that you are the doer when nobody else is claiming that doership? Clouds are pouring with rains, and because of the rains you are having food in your plate, not because you have dollars, not because you have rupees, not because you have currencies in your bank or in your pocket or on your credit cards. All of this are just medium of exchange, but those things that you buy from market, they are produced. Your simple cereals that you eat, fruits that you eat, they are all coming because the rains are coming from the sky, the clouds. But did any cloud ever talk to you and say, look here, I'm pouring these rains only to make sure that you have rich harvest and you can eat well and you can be healthy? Did they ever tell you? Which small tiny bit in nature talk to you saying, I am the doer? Only man does it. It's only because the man does it, man is in a continuous state of suffering. Because the doership is suffering. Doership is equal to suffering. You can equate all your sufferings in life directly to doership. The day you have gone beyond doership, you are the wise, you have the wisdom, you are the enlightened master. Because you have gone beyond doing. And the master is 24/7 busy. I can talk to you about the life of Baba Loknath. He did not even have a blink of sleep because he had non-blinking eyes. His devotees for 26 years never saw Baba blinking, and Baba said, I have put sleep away from me because if I allow it to come, my body will fall because I am living beyond the permitted number of years that I was allotted for this body. I am living by my will. This body living through 160 years of age is all by my own will, and to allow the will to work, I have allowed the sleep to stay away from it. So imagine 24/7, Baba is always dynamic in actions. This is the state of a yogi. We will walk for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 2 hours, 5 hours, and we become tired. Our hand is aching, our feeling of tiredness is happening. Because I'm the doer. But Baba is doing 24/7 for 365 days into years. There's no tiredness. He's ever vibrant energy. From where is this dynamism coming? It's coming because he is not connected, or rather identified with his shirt, that is his body. He is not identified with his mind. He's identified the cosmic body and the cosmic mind and the universal body and the universal mind. As a result, you can just imagine the amount of dynamism that you see in this cosmic process of entire creation. Baba is one with it. The yogi is one with it. Yoga is oneness. You are separate. Hence the pain, hence the suffering. So for today, I'll now possibly take leave of you because it has been a long time. But again, next time when we come, we'll continue from here, that in order to understand the concept of doership and non-doership, we need to understand that whenever we are doing things just because we did it previously and we know how to do it, don't do it in that way. Don't just keep repeating your past. Try to understand you have to be alive to the present. In order to be present, you have to bring yourself to your body, to your mind consciously. With that, your body and mind will do things, but you will be established in your witnessing consciousness. I know my body is doing, and I'm just watching how my fingers are doing things. I'm just watching it. Just as I can watch that I'm putting on my shirt on my body. So also I am able to see things as they are being done. And some power, energy from inside me, my prana shakti, my atma shakti, Because my Atma is inside. I am able to do things. If my Atma is not there inside, I'm dead, I'm gone. So it's the Atman which is doing, not I, the body, the mind, which cannot function without the power of Atman, without the power of Brahman, without the power of consciousness. So it's consciousness. Your doership is false, but your consciousness, your awareness is truth, beyond duality. To attain to that state of experiencing and feeling and understanding is the entire process of spiritual growth. Next day we'll take up, we talked about part of it, we talked about Satya. Next we'll talk about Brahmacharya. Then we can talk about Ahimsa, the small little bits of this Yama, that is how we can gradually bring about a kind of little transformation in our day-to-day life and living, so that we can see how we are improving every day. And as I improve, I'm the one to reap the benefits out of it. I'm the one to feel the difference. I am not reacting anymore because I'm not doing. I'm watching the doer. I'm just being one with the doer within me. So in that way, you are in your family life, you are in a worldly life, but in your boat, the water of the ocean is not getting it, the water of the river is not getting it. You are not becoming worldly, which will allow you to sink one day. Before that happens, try to make sure that your boat is plugged properly. Your boat is your body, with which you are trying to sail beyond this ocean of this samsara. In order to do that, you make sure that you live more conscious life, life of awareness, life of mindfulness, and that will take you to a state of non-doership. So we'll have a small little bhajan, and please try to sing with me, because I have decided every day when I end up my talk, we will just end up with a beautiful devotional chant. Because at the end of the day, you all know very well, music is something by which we quickly connect to that non-doer, quickly connect to that beautiful stillness of our mind, that peaceful state of our mind, where no worries, no tensions, no anxieties can have any entry. As long as you are chanting with me, you will see that you will never be able to be, stressed. You'll feel relaxed, happy. So please join me when I sing. Join me chanting. Just chant wherever you are. Wherever you are, just feel that you are part of this beautiful program. Yes. वासुदेव नारायण हरि हरि ओम 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 हरि हरि ओम हरि हरि ओम Hari Hari